There is a joke on the internet that is right. There are only two things in the world, one is your shit. One is, it's my ass. And Shu Shu believes that this person can also be divided into three types. For example, when you see $100 on the ground in a square, the first type picks it up calmly, ignoring the people around, and puts it in your pocket. The other kind will also pick it up and hand it over to the police. The last one, that is, most people, ignore it and walk by directly, regardless of what they think. Morality suppresses the eager heart, and fear of trouble, they only pass by calmly. Shu Shu is the third type. Therefore, it can only be her own that makes her bend over and pick it up. The story happened in the middle of bending over. Slow down. Brother, come here first. Yes, yes, that's going to move. Oh, be careful with that, forget it, I hold it myself. Shu Shu's baby is holding a small box. This is a small gift she has received since she was a child, and even some treasures she treasured when she was still in the orphanage. Chang Dunyi once complained about her, treating these shabby little things as treasures, so she wouldn't be allowed to touch them. He knows a fart. Each of these little things carries the memory of her time, all she has felt, the faint, the love. Shu Shu let out a sigh, and went to a new place with the moving company. Holding a box, long hair floating in the back, fair and delicate facial features, many people looked back at her. And she didn't care at all, just wanted to move out of this place. When the car could not enter, the gate of the community was stopped. There were several security guards at the gate. The people from the moving company registered one by one and deducted their ID cards before letting them in. Sister, where is this place? So strict. As long as Shu Shu doesn't provoke her, she is still quite kind. The community, the land in this community is private. The community is built and rented out. It is famous for its good security, good environment, few people, and quiet. It is suitable for people like her who just want to die at home. This house is expensive to rent, but people don't let outsiders come in for no reason. A building has 5 floors and one household on the first floor. The distance between buildings is also relatively long. It is quite good for some people who require strict privacy. If you live in, you can still pick neighbors. For example, she knows that 248 lives in a painter, 247 lives in a pair of elderly people, and 246 is a house held by others, and no one lives at the moment. These are all allowed to be disclosed by others, and the community must understand them. After all, this is a house with only stairs, and there is still contact between the upper and lower floors. As for her upstairs 251, the house had not been rented out when she rented it. Yes, you read that right, she has room number 249, and she is upstairs 251. She had only these 2 rooms left when she rented it. The owner of this community is interesting. He has demarcated 2 areas, 2 doors, 2 areas, 1 area, and 2 areas. The first area starts with 1, and the second area starts with 2. The first and second areas are numbered separately, and she is number 49. She also asked if there was a 250, and the other party smiled and said no. There is no room 250 in this community, and it cannot be rented out. If you can come here to rent a house, there is really no need to rent a 250 for yourself. Aren't you going wrong? The mover Kong Jing blinked. He didn't think this arrangement was good and it was not as convenient as separate buildings. No, there is a logo. I think it's very good and creative. There are more than 20 houses with 5 households in each building. No matter how they are arranged, the boss may like to be independent. Kong Jing nodded. The boss here is indeed a maverick. The various constructions in the community are different from other places, and they show their individuality everywhere. Shu Shu smiled, the phone rang, and an unfamiliar number answered. Hello, who? Shushu, have you moved? Shu Shu's face turned black, Cheng Duanyi. None of your business. Shushu, weren't you like this before? Then what should I look like? Shushu, don't be so ruthless, Lu Suyin and I really have nothing to do. Haha, yes, you guys are nothing, you just went to bed. I hung up the phone and blocked the number again. Shushu, who looks aggressive, is actually too fragile to tolerate a trace of betrayal. The moving buddies have already gone far. Shushu exhaled deeply, don't be irritable, don't be angry. Slowly walked towards her floor, and when they reached the door, they found two groups of people standing at the door. What happened? It's okay, I ran into it, they want to move, we also want to move. Kong Jing was not in a hurry. It didn't make any difference to move someone a while earlier and later. However, if one party moved to a rival company that had been robbing business, of course this was not allowed at all. Let's move first, let's be in a hurry. Yu was completely out of temper by the people from the moving company opposite. When there was a stalemate, I moved up. Looking at the time, there is still an hour left. Oh, you said you first come first? You can think so beautiful. He turned his head and said to them, go up. It was a girl, or a girl with good temperament and good looks. The people from the other company stepped back a bit. Kong Jing took a few brothers and moved immediately. Fuck. Yu was so angry that he lived on the 5th floor and she lived on the 4th floor. She was blocking the door. How could he get up? After waiting for a long time, Shushu and the others moved in. Yu hurriedly took people to move up. It was really too late. He was going to audition. Yu had a few things, so he moved in one wave, and would go down after roughly putting it away. There was still more than half an hour left. I went to the 4th floor in a hurry and found. Let's give it a hand, I'm in a hurry. Immediately, when they enter this cabinet, this can be carried in. Yu glanced at it. The stairs were huge, but their cabinet was not small, just blocking the entire stairs. Yu glanced at the time, and was anxious to explode. Hurry up, okay. The tone was a bit fierce. Shushu dropped the baby box just now, and was distressed when he heard Yu's tone. Can't you wait a moment? Are you a man, can you be a little patient? We can let you pass, and of course let you pass, isn't it impossible? Can you be a little considerate of others? Then he said to them, hurry up, just put it here. Yu was waiting to reply, the cabinet inside went in, and the mover moved the cabinet a bit inside, and Yu ran off quickly. People are unlucky, drinking water is stuck between their teeth, Yu is in a traffic jam. When I arrived at the interview place, 10 minutes had passed. Sorry, I'm late. The staff member with the sign said calmly, all those who are late will be disqualified. What the director said, you should go back. Yu went out in a desperate manner. This is the interview opportunity that the company finally gave him. He was slapped by him. Don't think about it, the company will definitely not give him such a good opportunity again. Yu walked out and let out a deep breath. If you don't get stuck in traffic, you won't be late. Don't be delayed by strange neighbors, and won't be late. Shushu walked out, she lost one of her important things, it must have fallen out today. Starting from the 4th floor, look around corner by corner. Yu just came in, saw Shushu, his face turned black, and forbearing, and walked past her. When he took the key, he brought out the things in his pocket, his little goldfish. Just as I was about to pick it up, I heard a voice, hold on. Then I saw the girl downstairs rushing over, bent over and picked up his little fish, gave him a roll of eyes, and was about to go downstairs. Yu smiled angrily. Where do you want to take my things? What your thing, this is what I lost today. Oh, you said you lost what you lost? Why don't you say that you put the bank money there? This was originally mine. You are a man in his 20s who are greedy for a small goldfish? I tell you, this is sold for hundreds of dollars. Hehe, you have the ability to prove it is yours. Shu Shuhuo suddenly ignited. Why don't I know, it is engraved with the letters S, the initials of my last name, Shu. Y is still my initials, U. You are a big man, otherwise you always want to take advantage of this little bit of money. Seeing you look like a dog, you won't be grudges about moving in the afternoon, right? A little demeanor, okay. Yu widened his eyes and pointed at himself. You said I'm not demeanor? I'm demeanor enough. You are ashamed to blame me for being demeanor for your behavior of pointing at other people's things instead of talking about yourself. This was originally mine. I fell on the 4th floor. The one who can go up to the 4th floor is you except me. I'm ashamed to call it my own after picking up other people's things? Little white face. What are you talking about? Shu Shu rolled up his sleeves, his image collapsed in seconds, and glanced at the man from top to bottom. My mother-in-law? Haha, don't you look in the mirror to see what you look like. If you are gay, there is one more thing than a woman. You are one less than a man. She swept up and down again as she learned, airport. Shu Shu almost jumped up. What did you say? I have seen shameless people, I have never seen you so shameless. Do you have a face? You talk about others even if you don't have a face. You. Upstairs, don't make any noise. A voice came from the 3rd floor. Give me something. Yu lowered her voice and took the fish in her hand. Dead pervert, okay, you give it back to my old lady. Shu Shu is about to grab it. Bang. Yu closed the door. Shu Shu gritted his teeth and kicked his door unwillingly. Return. Yu inside the door gave her a blank look when she saw that she was not leaving. This fish was clearly Lao Tzu's. Although I don't like it much, but after so many years, I still feel a little emotional. I saw it when I moved today, put it in my pocket, and brought it over. Seeing that he did not open the door, Shu Shu grinds his teeth, sneered, and took out his mobile phone. Hello, I am a 249 resident. I have some questions to discuss with upstairs. Can you give me the phone number upstairs? I'm sorry, this is a rule and cannot be disclosed, but I can contact 251 for you. Shu Shu hummed, okay, you tell him, let him return the things, I will wait for him at the door. After hanging up the phone, I started knocking on the door again. This man is caring about morning's hatred, otherwise, looking at him like that, he might not be a greedy guy. Yu in the room stared at the door. A fish? Are you as for? The door opened. Shu Shu glared at the man who opened the door, and listened to him. Here you are, here you are. Throwing things at her slammed the door. Shu Shu was dumbfounded, and even more sure that he had picked up his own. This fish was originally made unique. After engraving, it has a few years of age. How can there be so many that are the same? Posing his lips at the door, this kind of man. Back to the room, boarded the trumpet, and posted a Weibo. Come on, spit out the strange neighbors of these years / smile picture. Efforts may not be successful, but not working hard is really easy. The following are all comments. Shu Shu didn't read it. He took a bath first, and then came back to watch it slowly. The large number is full of positive energy. When I was in college, I opened this small account and called the Weibo name There is no more poisonous chicken soup. It turned out to be an unexpected fire. Although there are fewer fans on Weibo than the big ones, they are not much worse. She is highly active. Sometimes she will send out some poisonous chicken soup, and sometimes she will raise a topic, and the netizens themselves start to complain. After taking a shower, I wiped a piece of hair and draped it directly behind. Shu Shu has a habit. She doesn't like blowing her hair. She always washes and waits for it to dry. Summer is very good, winter should be washed earlier, anyway, She is also a unemployed vagrant. In the past, Chang Dunyi had to wipe her off, but now he just left behind and waited for it to do it on its own. Damn, why did you think of a scumbag again? Turn on the computer, the following is already in full swing. Fake, wow, the drug has appeared again. Left throat, poisonous, if you don't come to feed me chicken soup, I can't study hard. Top left, bottom right, ha ha ha, add one upstairs, inspirational for the poisonous chicken soup fan. Xiao Miao, strange roommate? It's so poisonous, you just ask my heart. A girl in the same bedroom calls the mail ticket every night, they call at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired of teaching and don't change. My favorite drug, this is not bad upstairs, a brother in our dormitory, maybe take a bath once a month. Damn it, the dormitory is full of stinky smells, so it's too exhausting to teach, our counselor said it was useless. Doo-doo, damn, I suddenly feel that the room is friendly. Ha ha ha, I think it's nice to come to my roommate. Although I study every day until midnight, at least I always take a shower/snicker. Shu Shu smiled and went back to the second floor first. Okay, give you a bowl of poison chicken soup, you can go and work hard, although it is of no use. Then continue to look down. Sister Poison, great, my roommate is very weird. She wants to play with her mobile phone at night, so she bought a blackout cloth to block it. Afraid that the teacher would catch me directly, he wrapped the ladder where I was going to bed and clamped up the opening. I couldn't go to the toilet at night, so I wouldn't listen to her, and he told me to pull up a little and drive by myself. There is a sound when I pull, and I often noisy my roommates, and they all scold me. I want to tell the teacher that she is playing with her mobile phone, but I am afraid that my classmates will reject me. More or less, I wiped it, and told the teacher upstairs that it was too wicked. Not surprised, +1, your classmates don't understand you, just because they don't live on it. My apple is a copycat, yes, yes, this kind of people can't bear it. Shu Shu clicked a like and replied, you tore it to her when you got out of bed at night, and she told you to pay you and asked the teacher to talk about it. As for your roommate, no one would bully you if you tore it. Sister Paper, Xianqi. Not worth it. The old man's building was suddenly set up below. Xiao Miao, Sister Paper, Xiangqi. Not worth it. Ha ha ha, Sister Paper, Xianqi. Not worth it. I don't want to grow up, Sister Paper, Xianqi. Not worth it. I love big drugs, Sister Paper, Xianqi. Not worth it. The confession book greatly, Poisonous. What is it for, don't croak upstairs. Miss your night, Poisonous. Left voice, Poisonous. Thousands of miles away, Poisonous. Well, it seems that the strange flower upstairs is at least 1 story away from her. Thinking about it this way, I retired with a good mood, and I was still very happy to be a drug. I opened the website again, and at the very least, it has not been updated today. After writing for more than an hour, I finished writing more than 3,000 words and posted it. At the same time, I reminded me of the update on Weibo. Only then did the website launch and enter Weibo again. After waiting a few minutes, people came one after another. The building below is slower than the Weibo of poisonous chicken soup. Some people read fast, some are slow, and some are collecting articles. Guyi, I felt wrong recently. I always thought that Guyi was the hero, but he was scumbag? Great, I want to send you the blade. Unknown for half a month, yes, right, since Sokuo appeared, Guyi's personal design has become more and more collapsed. Greatly April, I didn't like Guyi in the first place. This arrangement must have a profound meaning. Girls should keep their eyes open to express Sokuo. Shu Shu sneered. The reason why Guyi was set up was because his prototype was Chang Dunyi, so Guyi was finally with Chu Ke, and she responded. Then back to the third floor, girls have to rely on themselves, although beautiful love is there, we also need to keep our eyes open to see. After I got back, I turned off the computer, and the two of them switched on and off. She was almost fine-tuned. Even if she didn't pay attention one day, she posted poisonous chicken soup on the Weibo of Xiaoshu. Although she said what she said in her heart, there was still a difference in the end, while she was unruly, while constantly restraining herself. But why is it so cool? As a high school girl, Zhongling was driven crazy by her roommate. I was a little excited today, not only due to responded to her, but also today Saturday. She finally got her mobile phone, so she can follow the update of the new article of Xiu Shuda this week. In less than half an hour, I finished reading the amount that I saved for a week, poke a few times, and finally believe that there is no such thing as the next chapter. She first commented on the latest chapter, greatly, I also think that people always meet bad people. Be brave, face it calmly, and don't be cowardly. Then it seemed as if he had made up his mind and closed his eyes. Sure enough, the roommate in the lower bunk wrapped her tightly again. At about 10:30, everyone was not asleep, but lying on the bed, chatting and playing with mobile phones. Zhongling gritted his teeth, sat up, reached over the curtain of the lower bunk, and tore it open. Kaka! Some parts cracked, and the clips in the middle also broke. The roommate in the lower bunk called out, Zhongling, what are you doing? Zhongling let out a sigh and grabbed the railing of the bed with a trembling hand. You have affected me. Then you can't tear it. You pay me. Then let's go to the teacher to have a theory, tell him that this curtain is used to block the light of your mobile phone, and tell him that you have 2 mobile phones. You. The sister in the lower shop didn't know what to say, she just stared at her. Zhongling ignored them and walked slowly to the toilet in the dull eyes of all the roommates. He closed the door and let out a deep breath. The palms of his hands were sweaty, and his legs were shaking a little. From the day of the fight, taking out the trash in the dormitory was no longer her only job. Everyone took turns, and no one would use her things directly without her consent. She left a message to Duday, thank you. And her drug hero Shu Shu just moved to a new house, and there are still some things to be rectified, so she went out early and planned to purchase. But Yuanjia is on a narrow road and ran into the guy upstairs as soon as he went out. When he saw him Shu Shu, he snorted and Yu rolled his eyes even more. She continued to walk down, and Yu was also walking, and the two of them went downstairs. Yu looked at her back, her slightly curly waist-length hair dangling behind her, her slender waist seemed to be able to be held in one hand. This is indeed an attractive woman, but what are you looking at? Shu Shu stared at him. How do you know if I see you if you don't look at me? Besides, what's worth seeing for you? Yes, it's just you, it's useless to look at women. I wipe it. How am I? Shu Shu just rolled his eyes upwards, and rolled out a perfect white eye, which was very devoid of image. Look at you, don't you look like a girl? Yu was full of disgust. It's not like I was. It's you, who looks like a man. Hee, a woman like you can't get married in this life. Oh, just marry you out. After speaking, the two of them walked through the second floor, and did not see an old couple looking at their backs, and had another conversation. Are these two young lovers? No, how can I rent 2 houses? Did you quarrel? It's possible. The two quarreled yesterday. You said they are quarreling and going together again, why? I don't understand, young man now. Young man now. Times have changed. Yes. When Shu Shu and Yu went downstairs, they were going to drive away separately. You say to me, I will give you a blow. By the way, I forgot to ask you a question. Yu looked at her and listened to what she had to say. Are you coming back from Thailand? This situation is still suitable for living in Thailand. Our country is not tolerant enough. After speaking, he walked away, got in the car and drove away. Yu stood there, stunned for a while, before saying something. I wipe it. Shu, who won the win, felt a little at ease, and it was inevitable to be outrageous when purchasing. Carrying big bags and small bags in the car, I remembered and forgot to buy a set of skincare products. When I drove to the nearest mall, I went in. She bought things directly, went to the counter, ordered a set of boxes and was about to leave, suddenly came from nearby, Shu. Shu turned his head, a gorgeously dressed woman next to her was holding a greasy middle-aged man. Hello. I still have a slight impression, but I can't think of a name. Are you shopping here too? With a bright smile, Shu always wanted to ask her, who are you? Oh, yes, I forgot to introduce it. This is my husband, the vice president of Guangli. She said to her husband, Husband, this is my university classmate, Shu. Her husband looked at Shu, looked at her up and down, his face was full of smiles. Miss Shu, hello. He was about to stretch out his hand. Shu hurriedly interrupted, Hello, by the way, do you live here too? Asked the woman, the man's hand did not reach out. I saw that woman smiled embarrassedly, Yes, I like this place a lot, he has to buy me a house here. Shu's mouth twitched and nodded with a smirk. By the way, what do you do now? Unemployed. You and Cheng Dunyi. Separated. Hey? Then you. Looking at the box in her hand, she exclaimed, You can't be a junior. He quickly covered his mouth and smiled embarrassedly when he said the wrong thing. Shu, it's better to find a job, it's better to find a reliable husband, after all, it won't last long. The corners of Shu's mouth twitched and twitched, finally remembering who this person was. He hadn't seen him for a few years, the change was so big, the makeup was so heavy that he couldn't see clearly. I'm not a junior, by the way, I finally remembered, you are Ma Yan, are you married? What about Lu Jianan, who was so beloved when he was in college? Split? I remember that you two would have feelings. Okay, how come it is divided? Seeing her dumbfounded, she said with regret, Oh, you two made me believe in love, so why did you split up? Blinking his eyes, ignoring the dark-faced middle-aged fat man next to him, he only looked at her seriously with a regretful expression. No, we are not suitable. After talking, I was afraid that she would ask something, and then quickly said, My name is Wei now. By the way, some of our classmates said to hold a class reunion. You are so beautiful. You must have a boyfriend? Bring your boyfriend. The class will notify us and let us see how our boyfriend is. Then, without waiting for her to speak, he walked away with her husband in her arms, her back felt like she was running away. Shu smiled indifferently. This woman has been doing this since college, and she has a very good look, and then she said something nonsense. Do you think she said it logically? What does it mean to be a junior after he splits up with Cheng Dunyi? What does it mean to have a boyfriend when you are beautiful? Think of someone else as her. I don't know where the grudges and grievances came from. When she was in college, she fell ill. Cheng Dunyi spent the whole night with her in the hospital. I don't know how she knew she didn't go back to the dormitory. Went. Cheng Duan slapped her angrily. At that time, she really liked his careless demeanor to protect her. However, no matter how deep the love is, men, after all, can't match the so-called impulse. When Shu arrived at the parking lot, she realized that there was too much stuff. But lazy people sometimes have a characteristic, that is, they would rather be exhausted in one go than split into two back and forth to the fourth floor. Carrying big bags and small bags, they went downstairs in the community and met Yu who was taking out the garbage. Rolling his eyes, annoying people can be seen wherever they go. Yu opened his eyes wide, and looked at the woman on the fourth floor alone carrying as many things as her too, watching in amazement, followed her upstairs, and said at the back, "Tisk tut, it really is a man-in-law." At this moment, he had already walked from the second floor to the third floor. Shu Shu didn't want to say anything tired, rolled his eyes and continued to climb slowly. Yu followed her, tisk tisk all the way, but didn't help her. When he arrived on the fourth floor, Shu Shu put things at the door, trembling hands on the door, looked at Yu who was just about to go up to the fifth floor, and said, "Gentlemen." Yu looked at her, "Hey. Has anyone told you that you are really annoying?" Shu Shu smiled slightly, "Note the orphans. Open the door, push everything in, bang. Close the door. Yu. I wipe it, you hate it, and you are alone." Almost cleaned up, ordering takeaways from the hotel. Some people always say that eating takeaways is unhealthy, but she feels that ordering a good takeaway is definitely better than the half-baked things she makes. After eating, taking a shower, turning on the computer, and posting a message on Weibo of poisonous chicken soup, someone bullies you, remember to fight back 3 times. If you have the same sex, you will always look unpleasant. Smile slightly. She is just jealous that you are more beautiful than her. Picture, I just like to see you jealous of me. Then I also commented on one. I was stopped by a classmate today and spoke yin and yang strangely. I didn't know why at the time. I came back to look in the mirror, oh it turned out to be jealous of my prosperous beauty/smile. Suddenly sympathize with her a little bit, ugly like that, after all, less/waves in fact, Ma Yan looks pretty good, but Shu Shu feels that her disgusting psychology and what she looks like are extremely ugly. The poison chicken soup Weibo building was really fast, and it was getting older in a while, and Shu Shu took a look. I love big drugs, ha ha ha, self-confidence of big drugs fans, but I like it. Chen Suiyo old time, I finally know why my female colleague always looks at me unpleasant/smiling Zixi, anyone else dare to bully do day? Haven't been stunned yet? Kaka kaka, ha ha ha, add one upstairs Kana. The poison is big, and she will kill her. No courage, ha ha ha, I really want the drug to help me kill a friend of mine. Every time I eat, I want me to pay and save my money to buy cosmetics/wave. Shu Shu returned to the 6th floor, don't bother her first, eat with her, don't bring money, eat back to the original cost and then cancel. Then I turned off the computer and went to the codewords again. Don't think that the vagrant is really idle, she is also very busy. It was almost 10 o'clock, and the group informed me. I hope everyone can go. Old Ma Yan actively fooled everyone in the group, and named a few people in the same city, including Shu Shu, and said that she had no job, and she would definitely be able to go. Shu Shu. She also asked her boyfriend how was she. Shu Shu thought about it, and replied, Shu Shu, that must be younger and handsome than your husband. By the way, your husband is 50, right? Ma Yan, ah. What nonsense, 40. Shu Shu, oh, then he looks really anxious. The group was quiet for a while, only Ma Yan kept swiping the screen, and other people didn't know how they laughed outside the screen. The group still asked Ma Yan's husband very politely how he was doing to her. She praised her husband a lot, made a point, and had money. Then she started asking Shu Shu's boyfriend. She got a fever and sent this paragraph, not very high, probably 190, not so handsome, worse than Takeshi Kane Shiro, no money, only a few sweets within the second ring road, which is very good for me, laundry and cooking are all included. Then I saw the heat in the group, and finally calmed down. Today, poisonous chicken soup has updated to Weibo. The second article reads, the cowhide I blow, and I have to swallow it with tears/from menopause. Picture, no way. I can't stand this grievance. As soon as this Weibo is posted, the following are all: rabbit, poisonous bragging / picking nose dimly, haha, what kind of cowhees did the poison brag about? I love drugs, ha ha ha, I want to laugh inexplicably. Chen Suiyu in the old days, haha, the drug is big. Just blow. Bye, the drug is going to roll over / smirk Juway, ha, ha ha ha, the poison is here to blow one, want to see it? Shu Shu replied to the person who said she overturned, poison is capable of carrying a tractor, it can't be turned over. As for the boyfriend, isn't it more than half a month away? What if you catch the right one for her? But there was something very important in the past 2 days. She has a book and is about to shoot again. 2 of her books have been made, and they are both very popular, but Shu Shu hasn't watched a few episodes. One of them is made quite well, with a high degree of reproduction, and the actors are in place. It was another one, with a lot of prudent faces, so scared that she quickly turned off the TV. Because of the high level of mystery, there is almost no news, and the Weibo energy is also positive, and most of the people who hack her will end up without disease. She has never participated in the problems of TV dramas, but will make some demands on the script. Who would want to create a role that he has been fortunately struggling to make, inexplicably female second to female third, female end to female second? This book is still being cast, and many companies and directors have taken a fancy to her new book, but she is still thinking about whether to sell it. At the second noon, Yu Yu took a lazy nap, yawned and walked to the balcony, and saw Comfort walking slowly downstairs with an umbrella. Even if her eyes are as high as Yu Yu, she must be admitted that she is really good looking, and her every move and every smile has a unique charm. What is the brain filling? Think about when she scolded you. Then, thinking of Shu Shu's perfect white eyes, the corners of his mouth twitched. Just now I was afraid that I was blind, so I thought she had a temperament. Looking at the takeaway she was holding again, as a woman, I'm too lazy to order takeaways every day. Who will marry you? He didn't go back to the room until Shu Shu couldn't see his back. It was almost at night. Shu Shu and Yu Yu both slept. Zheng Xiang, suddenly, ah. Shu Shu, damn. Who? Yu Yu, fuck. Who? After several more sounds, the two couldn't help but opened the door. As soon as Shu Shu opened the door, he saw Yu Yu in the waistcoat and big pants. He didn't even bother to complain. When I bought this place, it was because it was quiet and easy to go out. I had to go and see, who is so ignorant of the rules and yelling. The voice was on the 3rd floor, and a pair of elderly people downstairs also came out to see if something bad happened. I knocked on the door and someone opened it after a minute. It seemed that there was no harm in it. What are you doing? The unshaven man had a very bad attitude. You quarreled us. Please be quiet, otherwise we can only complain to you. As he opened the door, the screams inside were deafening. The painter rubbed his messy hair, and it appeared extremely small under the background music. Sorry. Please don't complain to me. I have to hand in a painting tomorrow, but I have no inspiration yet. What painting needs you to listen to this sound? Desperate, I heard some people scream desperately for inspiration. I'm a little inspired, and I'll close it in a while. Shu Shu exhaled deeply. Who said the painter was quiet? Those who engage in art are crazy. You can't wear headphones. Yu Yu wanted to rush forward and shook him hard to see if he could make his brain circuit normal. The earphones are not good, the atmosphere is not enough, and it is not good for the ears. Then why don't you put it so loudly in the middle of the night, just to treat your neighbors? I rub, you are too shameless. Yu Yu said in surprise. What use is it for you to stay up late today? Anyway, you won't be able to draw it tomorrow. This was Shu Shu's serious voice. It's still hard for me to see you such a wonderful thing. Did you get driven out of the previous community? Yes, and you are afraid that you will be driven out of this community. We will complain to you. The two sprayed a wave at the painter. He honestly turned it off, and promised not to interfere with them again. Then they left. The old man and the old lady looked at them from behind, and there was another conversation. These two are pretty consistent to the outside world. Well, they are afraid that this character will not be long before. That's not necessarily. Some people have similar personalities, but they are better at them. Oh, they look very good. Yes, it's a real sign. There is a habit of people. When two people are at the same time, they will inevitably look more pleasing to the other party. As long as the girl you spray is not me, it feels pretty cool. Shoo Shoo cast a blank look, classic eyes. You man doesn't spray me, I think it's pretty cool too. You laughed twice, leave a WeChat. Shoo Shoo was about to refuse, and suddenly noticed that he was almost 190. Although he was a little white face, his face was indeed pretty good. With a slight smile, they nodded, and the two exchanged WeChat. Men shouldn't be too pretentious. Didn't I just block your way on the day I moved, and even pick up my little goldfish? Shoo Shoo said about the little goldfish. I rub. What are you talking nonsense? That little goldfish belongs to me. The fish returned to her, so shameless. You paid me back, didn't you admit that it was mine? I am annoyed by you, okay. It's not an important thing, just give it to you. After a pause, he said, there are more and more exactly the same things in the whole day, it's all you. Shoo Shoo's face was a bit pale. You stopped seeing her and opened his eyes wide. If you really want it, just give it to you, don't you cry. Who is crying? Shoo Shoo said sternly, and then said, I'll keep this for now, and I won't give it to you until I find mine. You rolled her eyes, yes, you keep. Shoo Shoo lay on the bed, holding the fish, and watching carefully. Shoo? Remain? Is SY a coincidence or does it mean something? No, if it is really related to another person, the man upstairs will not know at all. After thinking about it, I sent a WeChat message upstairs, one book, what is your full name? Big Fish, you this book. Big Fish, how about you? One book, Shoo Shoo Big Fish. Then the two simultaneously sent out a message, one book, just your bad name, don't want to laugh at me. Big Fish, just your bad name, don't want to laugh at me. One book, what's wrong with my name? It's so good. Big Fish, my name is also very good. One book, picture, didn't make friends. You suffer. Big Fish, picture, the other party has refused to accept your message, touched your chest by the way, and complained about mom's flat chest. The two of you come and go, and you are still in the middle of the night, until the spray reaches Shoo Shoo and falls asleep. You saw that no one responded to the news, and glanced at the time. NS. Get up early tomorrow. Shoo Shoo didn't get up until after 8 o'clock the next day, washing slowly, and go out to eat today. And you upstairs got up in a hurry, washed up quickly, went to the parking lot, and found. Damn! It's out of gas. After checking the time, he took out the phone again, and was about to call Diddy when a girl came over slowly. Well, that book, can you take a ride? Shoo Shoo looked at him, that fish, I have a name, okay. Seeing that he was about to talk again, I rushed in front of him, what a shameless fish, Tusk, am I familiar with you? He smiled and walked to his car. Please, okay? I'm in a hurry. Upstairs and downstairs, help each other. Shoo Shoo sat in and drove the car in front of him. You smiled and stretched out his hand to open the door. Thanks, I wipe it. Shoo Shoo drove past in front of him. I'll drive you, dream. Still help each other? Who's special? Wait, help each other. Back up, get in the car. You looked at her in disbelief, so kind. Shoo Shoo smiled slightly, yes, I just joked with you. Upstairs and downstairs, help each other. Yu sat up in surprise, but couldn't tell, the girl downstairs was pretty good. The car drove out. Where? Building. Where are you going? Audition. Can't you tell that you are still a star? Shu joked. Wasn't her book auditioning there today? Future star. Said so confidently. Well, very good, the level of narcissism is comparable to me. By the way, you said that you should help each other upstairs and downstairs, right? Yu nodded hesitantly and looked at her suspiciously. What are you going to do? It's okay, let me lend you a day on October 1st and do me a favor. What's busy? I won't tell you yet. Seeing his skepticism, he said, it's very simple. It's not against morality. Yu looked suspicious, you won't do bad things. What are you thinking of? Don't worry, it's nothing serious, just one day. The filming will start on the national day of the audition today, I don't have time. Can you live so confidently? Of course. Yu slapped his chest. This is the last chance the company has given him. Then if you have time that day, you can help me, okay? Yu thought for a while. He was on the crew that day, and there was nothing he could do to help. Hey, promise first, then I'll say that I'm on the crew, I'm mad at you. Okay. Both of them smiled, each with a ghost. When he arrived at the building, Shu looked at his back hurriedly entering, and smiled smirkly, so I don't know what else do you think? Take out the phone. Hello? Director Wang, I think the new book you talked about last time is pretty good. But about the current book, I have a question. The agent is also here today. I guess I know that Yu will be famous for taking this role. The attitude towards him was quite good. Yu was found by himself and came out of a non-professional school. The company saw that he looked good, so he signed him. According to him, his family was poor and wanted to make some money, but it was strange that he didn't flatter him. With his face, there are still a lot of people who want to praise him. Seeing him dressed appropriately today, he nodded, Big Fish is here, go, let's go in. While leading the way, he said, don't be nervous, today is just a cut scene. Pushing the door open, Director Wang, here comes our Big Fish. See if it was born for Chu Ming. The agent was smiling and very talkative. Instructor Wang knocked on the table with an expression of embarrassment. Director Wang? What's the matter? The agent asked hesitantly. This. You should go back. Hey? Why? Not suitable for Chu Ming. How come? Just let me try it. Yu's eyes widened. He didn't even try. Where did he know that I was not suitable for Chu Ming? This is what the Xiaxue said. She looked at Yu's photo and said that this person is not suitable for Chu Ming. Disagree, we can't do anything about this. The agent said in a puzzled voice, disagree with the letter of suspension. Yet. But don't be discouraged by Big Fish, we are also filming the new article in the book. We will give Big Fish an important role at that time. The agent smiled far-fetched, the director Wang could not offend, and the letter of divorce could not be offended, so he could only swallow it himself. Yu was going to say something, the agent pulled him, and said a few more polite words with director Wang, and left with Yu. As soon as he went out, Yu screamed, what's the reason? What does it mean to look inappropriate? If the mirror is not tested, it is not suitable. The agent patted him, Big Fish, I will help you with the show again. If there is anything else, I will leave first, and you should go back too. Then he left, the lower part of Director Wang promised, who didn't know that it was a polite remark, this Yu, the two good opportunities have gone bad, this person, it still depends on luck. He is not very optimistic about him anymore, and if he is reasonable about his skill, it is better to care about the artists under him. Although he is not as good as him, but he can't go wrong anyway. Yu Yu was dumbfounded. Damn! Who are you? He made a call. Come out. Come out. Drink with me. Lu Wan received a call from Yu Yu, and Pai Dian came to pick up Yu Yu. Master Yu. Why are you here? Go around, go to the bar, stop talking nonsense. Is there anything like this? Yu Yu poured a glass of wine and got bored with a mouthful. It's been a long time since I had such a good wine. There must be unspoken rules. Then there must be someone else recommending any dismissal book. Yu Yu finally looked up at him. You didn't play with people in this circle before. If you don't understand this, I will tell you that there is too much in it. Unless there is real acting, good looks, and luck, otherwise the hot ones are the thighs. I said you're all right, what are you doing? Just put your family at home and follow your father to make money, those first-line superstars, can't they get on with a wave of hands? Yu Yu glanced at him, you don't understand. Just let him watch the company while my dad can move, I can come out and make a game. Do you also know that you are fooling? Uncle doesn't care about you. No matter what, no matter the money. Lu Wan. Master Yu, are you short of money? I will give. Don't. Lao Tzu will earn it himself. The two drank for a long time. Yu Yu came out with a refreshing drink, stood outside the bar, and suddenly shouted, "Shut up! I'm your uncle." Then I felt that the breath in my heart hadn't even gone out yet. Where do you live, Master Yu? I'll give it to you. You gave it away, don't everyone know where I live? He gave him a glance, which is why he almost spent all the money to rent there. I'll take a taxi, you give me 100 yuan, I'll take a taxi. Lu Wan gave him more. He didn't want it, so he took 100 and drove away. Lu Wan stayed there still in a daze. Why did Master Yu do this? Go through such a hard life? I thought that when Yu Yi's love relationship had begun, seeing that one or two of his surroundings were in love, he also went to chase the jailing flower in the school. The money was spent, and it was not wrinkled. When Jailing's Hiwa started to want to be with him because of money, this person withdrew again. What else did he say? Damn! How can your heartbeat speed up? It's so hypocritical. Lu Wan has a deep memory, because Yu Ye made it by himself and hated others. In his 20s, such a little false emotional history made them suspect that he was gay. Just like Master Yu, what kind of woman is needed to be able to hold it down? Look at the former Yu Ye who was a dead man who did not pay for his life, and look at the man now auditioning for a small role, shook his head. I really can't figure out the brain circuit of this man. Forget it, people are rich and willful. When Yu Yu returned to the community and walked to the 4th floor, for some reason, he knocked on the door. Shu Shu saw him from the cat's eye and opened the door. Fuck, what kind of look are you? Shu Shu's face turned dark. Didn't she just put a mask on her hair? It's like a ghost. Can you look a little bit in front of a man? Shu Shu calmly pressed the mask. Oh, you said that you have to look like a man in front of men, so what kind of image do you want in front of you? I'll go. Can you talk to people well? Speak well to people, are you a human? Yu Yu's eyes widened, this is maddening. What the are you doing? I guess, I won't pass the audition, right? Shu Shu suddenly smiled. Many years later, Yu Yu knew that when Shu Shu smiled at someone, there were only two situations. One, she was going to cheat you. Another kind, she has pitied you. How do you know? You'll know by looking at you like this, task tisk, so say man, you can't be too confident. Yu Yu's face turned dark. I don't blame me this time, I can only blame me for bad luck. It may be the reason for drinking, and the woman in front of him always relaxes him inexplicably, so she starts to complain. Encountered the unspoken rules. Damn, that Xiaoshu. What do you hear about seeing his face and knowing it's inappropriate? Damn, this kind of weird thing. Shu Shu paused by pressing the mask's hand, and said blankly, maybe you are too ugly, you don't look good. How is it possible? Don't say how good my grandfather is. It's my master's acting skills. She knew I was inappropriate if she hadn't seen me acting. This kind of person, I don't know how to get hot, just like her is unreasonable. What book can you write? Shu Shu blinked his eyes and smiled slightly, fine, you are fine. Just tell me this. Interrupted him. Oh, I almost forgot to do business, the sky came out on National Day. I can help you, what do you want me to do? Shu Shu smiled slightly, be busy, let's talk about National Day, goodbye. Bang. The door closed. I wipe, what is this? Is this an attitude of asking for help? He stared hard at the door, and then went back to wash and sleep. Shu Shu closed the door and took off the mask. Okay, let you scold you, I can't kill you. Thinking of his failure in the audition today, he smiled slightly and was in a good mood. Poisonous chicken soup has Weibo again, come and come, Duda is in a good mood today. To be a close sister, talk about any problems. With picture, sit well. Time goes by, damn it. Poisonous, intimate. Sister? Fang Ling, poisonous, do you have a misunderstanding of yourself? Coming and going, excuse me? I love drugs, did I click the wrong Weibo? Bye, I was so scared that the mixed rock formed biotite gneiss fell to the ground. Shu Shu continued to brush for a while before someone asked for help. Lulin, poisonous. I have a question. There was a man chasing me, stalking every day, all kinds of entanglements. When we were in class, he had to sit next to me, the key classmates booed. My friends stepped away when they saw him coming, and I said I didn't like him, they actually said I was hypocritical. Advising me to stay with him every day, I'm going crazy. I have a male god. The male and I were about to pierce the window paper. Now he is avoiding me. Shu Shu returned to her, do you say every time you refuse him, we are not appropriate, you don't want to be like this, and you just say to your classmates, no, I don't like him, just these words. Lulin, yeah, I don't know what to say. Drug, big sister, you can refer to my previous post, how to ruthlessly reject others. Lulin, hey? Isn't that amazing? Poisonous. What can I say? You can only cry silently for your male god. Don't think that only a man who is ambiguous with a girl while not rejecting the other girl is called scum. Gender equality is not just talking. Just you, we are not suitable, soft, a little thick-skinned, can you give up? The key is that you already have a male who is about to come together. If you really want to be with him, it is best not to let him win the rivalry, but to let him have no rivals. Of course, the same is true for men, and it is more important to take care of your own women. Then he ignored this building, Shu Shu continued to refresh, and there was another one, whose love is not sad, it is poisonous. My husband cheated, we used to love each other very much, I can even feel that he still loves me, but I don't understand why it is entangled with other people, it is poisonous, I don't know what to do, reluctant to divorce, and can't swallow this breath. Before Shu Shu spoke, the old tall building was erected below. I love drugs, damn it. Divorced, the scumbag keeps the new year? On the floor, Duda must squirt the man to death, let him go out of the house with you. Rabbit, poisonous, so poisonous, come on scum spraying man. Shu Shu was a little stiff, she didn't want to spray the scumbag, the derailment had already happened, and the harm had already been done. Between the lines, she knew that she still loved him, and it was a painful thing to be hurt by the one she loved. Even for a tough woman like her, after the Cheng Dunyi incident, she didn't always fight back peacefully, and she would be so sad that she didn't want to say anything. Of course, personally, she will never let people who have bullied herself go, let her slow down, seize the opportunity, and go back sooner or later. Poisonous, I will hug you first, and then say, stand up properly, it will rain and clear the sky. There is no hurdle to pass, don't be afraid to face the future, feelings are not irreplaceable things. There was a moment of silence below, and then, Zixi, damn it. Suddenly, the poison is positive. Chen Suiyu in the old days, drugs are not normal today. Rabbit, terrible, the poisonous ghost is upper body? Listen to the wind, poison is really so normal. Understand, in fact, Duda is quite right. Regardless of what they said, Shu Shu adjusted his emotions and devoted himself to writing. After all, life is still going on, no one can't live it. In other words, why didn't she think of Chang Dunyi for days? Well, the 205 upstairs is still useful. Yu Yu woke up early in the morning, a little hungry, took out his phone, picked several dishes, and checked out. Insufficient balance. Reluctant to delete 2 dishes, check out, insufficient balance. Only 1 dish left, check out, insufficient balance. I'll rub it. Eat noodles head office, right. However, the balance is still insufficient. What is the most painful thing about not being able to find a job? Too free? Boring? Flustered? No. No money. When I opened the refrigerator, there were only a few apples, and I ate 3 at one go. However, there was no use for eggs. Lie on the balcony, thinking about how to make money, suddenly his eyes are fixed. The girl downstairs was carrying takeaways and holding an umbrella. She walked from the gate to Ping Ting. The big bag, visually, at least 4 dishes. When Shu Shu walked to the 4th floor, she saw the 251 hands upstairs on her door, posing a handsome pose, and shook her hair when she came over. Shu Shu. Pretend to be thunderous. What are you doing? Sengfen. So shameless. Upstairs and downstairs, help each other. I know, you are a good person. Shu Shu nodded and smiled slightly. Okay. You are a great person. Open the door, the man is about to go in, Shu Shu stops him. What happened? You are waiting at the door. Why? Don't you know that you can't just enter the single women's dormitory? Does it make me funny if you invite me to dinner? Didn't you say you don't treat me like a man? What a fish that you don't want to eat in principle. She-males are also very dangerous. You wait, I will leave 1 dish, and the rest will be yours. You blinked, so good? No need, just give me 2. No, 1 meat dish will do, I like meat. It's okay, I'm not hungry today anyway. Put it on the table, Shu Shu took out a box, and gave him the rest. You don't want rice? Yu was at the door, witnessing that she only took out 1 box without making any fakes or adding anything to the remaining boxes. Almost saved the gentleman's belly with the heart of a villain. There is only 1 box, you can eat it, I'm really not hungry. Yu was so touched that he never said that it was 205 downstairs. She is so kind, so loving neighbor, so touching. Yu left the meal to her, of course he would not be so wicked that he would take everything away. After he left, Shu Shu closed the door and smiled silently. Excitedly put the bags on the table, take out boxes and boxes expectantly, line them up, and uncover the first one. Vegetable salad? What the hell? Push this away gently, eat this downstairs at noon? Opened the second box again. White water. No, there is a slice of greens inside. Pushing away, dragging past the third box, what are you eating downstairs every day? Damn it! Durian. Shu Shu sat at the dinner table and opened the box. There was a stew inside. She didn't like meat, but because she often stayed at home, she lacked exercise. So every time I order one piece of meat, of course, I only order one, and I can eat one bite at a time. Through the ceiling, I can think of the current degree of madness upstairs. He picked up the chopsticks, took a bite, frowned, and put it down again. This is the legendary one that hurts 1,000 enemies and hurts 800? Hemp, just hurt each other. Yu was wearing a costume and lay down on the ground. Yes, he is now an extra who pretends to be dead. It's numb, in order to eat the meat as soon as possible, Yu has no face. Silently watching the male lead Mushu, who was surrounded by everyone after the filming, when would I be able to become like this? No one knows why he has a good day, but he has to be a star. In fact, everyone didn't believe it. Our Lord Yu had a dream of being a movie king since we were young. Of course, in the final analysis, it can also be said to be panic. After receiving the salary and leaving, the fans who were blocked outside were shocked as soon as he went out. Yu straightened his clothes and walked out, just listening. Mushu! Mushu! Mushu, I love you! What a pity! After walking another distance, I saw two girls panic coming over, and one of them ran into him. Sorry. It's okay. Why is the attitude so good? Because he is in a low mood. Ah! So handsome! Are you a star? Yu felt even lower. No, I am an extra. The two girls insisted on taking pictures of him. Yu followed them, and the big fish in such a depressed mood didn't want to spray anymore. After I went back, I was lying on the bed, feeling depressed, and felt that I was afraid that I would not be a movie king for 5 years. I have to go back in 5 years. Shu was doing yoga at home, and the phone rang. Seeing that the sender turned out to be the one upstairs, she changed the note and opened it. 205 upstairs, a good life is meaningless. Shu's news came back quickly. Yu opened, 205 downstairs, pretending to be struck by lightning. There was not a single punctuation mark. Yu was shocked and angered back. 205 upstairs, an inhumane man. 205 downstairs, haha, she-male. 205 upstairs, hey, you really won't get married like this. 205 downstairs, why do you care so much about whether I can marry or not, and have a crush on me? 205 upstairs, damn it. You are so shameless. The two of you come and I will go. As for the depression, Yu said, what the is that? Can you eat it? Yu, who was out of depression, found a wave of surprises waiting for him the next day. He is on a hot search. Shu woke up, opened Weibo, and wanted to see if there were any interesting messages on the two accounts, but he was taken aback by the hot search. Isn't this the 205 upstairs? Damn it! Extras? Then why take him to the classmate meeting to pretend to be coercive? And upstairs? Half dreaming and half awake, Yu took the phone that kept ringing. Hello? Who? Big Fish. Ability, hot search. The agent's voice was very excited. Of course, Yu certainly can't pretend to know nothing, turned on the paw and opened Weibo. I saw the above article number, this number, which stands there as a well-behaved, cute, calm but very charming. Oh, coincidence. Yu said modestly. It's okay, now some people have noticed you, the company will help you tweet on Weibo, remember to post some nice photos these 2 days. Oh, he obediently answered. That night number was on the hot search, and clicking on it was the selfie he sent, which looked like a warm man. Shu almost vomited out the water he drank. After thinking about it, forget it, upstairs and downstairs, it caused him to fail the audition, and he couldn't afford to eat. Opened Du Ji Tang Weibo, followed him, and reposted the latest one without saying anything. Duda is actually paying attention to an extra actor who can't even be counted as an 18th line? Yu Yu upstairs hadn't recovered from the huge increase in Weibo fans, and saw that dude reposted his Weibo. With such a repost without saying anything, Yu Yu transformed from a vacuum extra to a small transparent 18th line, a star. The next day, he changed into his clothes and went to audition for a male and number in a TV series. When I came back, I bought a bunch of fruits and knocked on the door on the 4th floor. What's wrong? Let me go. How many masks do you put on a day? Leave me alone. Forget it, I haven't seen a woman lazier than me. Shu Shu patted the mask. I am still diligent with my beautiful face. Yu Yu. What's the matter with you? Hello, the fruit I bought for you. Shu Shu squinted at him. What conspiracy? Or is it poisoned? I'm so unbelievable. Shu Shu nodded. Yu Yu picked up the fruit and turned around. What kind of wind did Lao Tzu get to buy fruit for this 250? I almost forgot the virtues of this guy. Yu Yu, are you short-sighted? After returning home, Yu Yu threw all the fruits on the table and sat on the sofa looking at the fruits. The conspicuous durian was very eye-catching. I pulled a bag of apples, washed 2 of them, and gnawed them when I sat on the sofa, and I could hear his thoughts a little closer. Don't eat it. I eat it myself. Shu Shu took the takeaway, and the one upstairs had just returned, and the 2 went together. Don't you bother to eat takeaway every day. 117 homes. What? I said there are 117 takeaways, take turns, and I can't eat them at all. Yu Yu. You can't cook by yourself. Will not. Yu Yu looked at her, and suddenly said with a serious face, who will marry you in the future, it's so pitiful. Roll. You don't have to work. Unemployed. Why do some unemployed vagrants be so arrogant? When we got to the 1st floor, a pair of old people were showing affection. Yes, you read that right, showing affection. My wife, slow down. Hey, I'm fine, slow down too, there are steps. Well, what do you want to eat for lunch? I will make it for you. Eat the spring rolls you made, I'll roll out the dough. Okay. Take out the together. Then I saw them, smiled and said after they said hello, the little couple are back from a date. Shu Shu, no, we are not young lovers, please don't misunderstand. Yu Yu, no, we are not young lovers, please don't misunderstand. The painter on the 2nd floor was smoking a cigarette, right at the top of the stairs. Shu Shu and Yu Yu frowned at the same time. Yu Yu asked him, why are you smoking here? The painter looked at them sadly, no, I smoked loneliness. Do not. What you smoke is wind. On the 3rd floor, Shu Shu opened the door and suddenly said, how come my neighbors are all weird? There is no normal person. Then opened the door and closed the door, 3 fast steps. Yu Yu. Fuck. Yu Yu's audition went smoothly. Although there were few scenes, at least he appeared on the scene. As long as he has the face and acting skills, he is afraid of a fart. His role is of course not that he will shoot when he says, but when the crew says he will shoot. To be honest, he has only been out for half a year, and he has a lot of temperament. Just before his violent temper, he has already abused the king's director and the agent of the rudder into scum. If you don't rely on your father or money, it's really grind to come out. No wonder his father didn't have any objection to him when he came out. In this world, for 3 to 5 years, his boy must have been tempered. In the evening, Yu Yu fell on the sofa and swiped Weibo. Now he has a little attention on Weibo, and he is wailing his cool every day. Yu Yu poked into the Weibo of poisonous chicken soup and saw that she hadn't updated it yet, so she came out disappointed. He secretly poked into the Weibo of Xiaoshu, turning over and saying, fake. 2. Pack. Shu Shu pressed her leg, then lay on the bed, the phone rang, picked it up, and took it. Book. Book is Cheng Duanyi. Shu Shu was taken aback, and then said, I beg you not to call, okay? Shushu. Has our relationship for so many years been fake? Since then, this is the first time Chang Duanyi roared. Then you, is that a fake? Shu Shu blinked and poured back the tears that came to the corner of his eyes. For those who are not worthy, no one shed distressed tears. Shushu, I said, that's really a coincidence. It has already happened, I just want to make up for it, Shushu, I. Shu Shu hung up again and blocked the number. Yeah, something has happened. She knows that he only accounts for 30% of the factor, but it is this 30%. If she is with him, she will become her eternal knot. The knot that can't be untied, can't be lost. Shu Shu lay on the bed, turning over and over, feeling very irritable, took out the phone, and wrote in the poisonous chicken soup, have you ever encountered any strange flowers? Picture, I'll pay it back sooner or later. One of the comments below was very eye-catching, Shu Shu sneered, and saw it read, big fish, wow. There are too many weird things. The most weird thing is my 255 downstairs. Haha, her room number is 249. This is the most masculine woman I have ever seen, and I don't know good people. Yu commented on the drug on Weibo, and the main reason was that the 250 downstairs suspected his motivation to deliver fruits. Now the durian is still on the table. It is not thrown, nor is it not thrown. It emits a piercing smell anytime and anywhere, which always reminds him of the person downstairs. Shu Shu calmly replied. Poisonous chicken soup, if you live upstairs, is your room number 205. Then, ignoring the following netizens who watched the excitement, they sent a WeChat message upstairs, 205 downstairs, idiot. Yu saw that Duda said his room number was 205, he retorted, fearing that she would ask the room number again, and withdrew silently. After receiving the news from downstairs, Yu was shocked, hey? Did you find that I'm good and want to eat fruit? I opened my eyes and opened my eyes, then angrily returned, 205 upstairs, I rely on. You 205 downstairs, are you stuttering? 205 upstairs, you are the one who stutters, you are crazy, you just swear when you are okay. 205 downstairs, I'm happy / sneer 205 upstairs, unreasonable, unreasonable. 205 downstairs, with one don't make sense. 205 upstairs, oh, then I don't need to reason with you. 205 downstairs, I am a single dog at best. Hey? She has no match? Pooh. Does she have anything to do with you? Why is she so excited? 205 upstairs, you have no match? Ha ha ha, I know you won't get married like this. 205 downstairs, oh, do you think you just married out? She-males are not popular in the country. 205 upstairs, broken book, I want to tear you up. 205 downstairs, what a coincidence, smelly fish, my old lady wants to chop you too. 205 upstairs, don't be my mother, you are a woman. 205 downstairs, it's up to you. The two of you come and I will go until Shu Shu wins the battle and smiles and falls asleep. I didn't notice at all, the pain and troubles that Cheng Duanyi brought to her disappeared unconsciously. She was not even in the dream of Cheng Duanyi all night. Early the next morning, I woke up, flipped through the bed, took out his mobile phone, and saw that the guy upstairs yesterday even sent a message. 205 upstairs, hey, that book, I have a durian here. I won't eat it, or would you? After a few minutes, there is another one, upstairs 205, cough cough, it's mainly because I don't eat it, or you don't want me to throw it away. Shu Shu only returned 3 words, yes, send it. Upstairs Yu was furious, I'll wipe it. Do you want to eat and I want to give it to you? Of course, while scolding, he went to the table and lifted it up and sent it down. You. Are you masochistic? With the attitude of people, you actually sent it to others like a thief. Then he kept walking to the fourth floor, knocking on the door, as if he could vent the anger in his heart. Wait. I can't spray you when you open the door. And the back door opened, with delicate features and face up to the sky, with the green silk hanging lazily behind him. Shoo Shoo smiled at him, tenderly squeezed. Thank you. No, you're welcome. Seeing him not moving, he asked, is there anything else? No, it's okay. Then, goodbye. Goodbye. Yu, who was dizzy and walked back to sit on the sofa, stayed for several minutes, and then uttered a rage. Fuck. Yu. Where's your rhetoric? Council. Eating durian, Shoo Shoo was struggling with the classmates' reunion. After all, the cowhide was blown out. If she can't take it by then, Ma Yan's stuff may not be able to arrange her all over the world. Moreover, if nothing happens, Cheng Dunyi and Lu Xian will also go. She can't lose the field. People live with a face and trees live with a layer of skin. How could she have lost the game? If the guy upstairs asks, how does he become an extra, should he say that he has a good life, but he wants to experience life? Is there that kind of idiot? There is still some time for the classmates, put it aside first, she will go for a tour before the National Day. Their occupation is not just bored typing at home, writing quietly at home, and occasionally traveling and taking a tour, which can get a lot of inspiration. Shoo Shoo wanted to go to Lhasa, and he might not be able to worship Buddha, but at least please be at ease. Just leave, quietly. Yu cooperated with the second man in the filming of the film that day. As the second man's guard, the time is naturally to adapt to the second man. However, he only had a few shots, and he could go back after the shots. There were still a few shots behind, all of which took a while. It was the next day that he found out that Shoo Shoo was not at home. When he went back that night, he found that there was no light on the fourth floor, but only when she went to bed early. At lunchtime the next day, he lay down on the balcony for several hours, but he didn't see the person downstairs showing up. In the afternoon, Yu couldn't hold back, and sent her a WeChat message. After more than an hour, no one answered, only then found out that it was wrong. Yu's eyes widened. This person, wouldn't it be, what happened? Shoo Shoo. He patted the door, there was no movement inside. Yu went to the third floor. After thinking about it, he went to the second floor again. Knock on the door and someone will open it soon. Uncle, Aunt, do you see the fourth floor? The aunt smiled. I dragged my suitcase out yesterday, I'm afraid it was a long trip. What? The uncle also laughed, his face pleaded, where are the young couples arguing? No, just a neighbor. The uncle and aunt gave a fascinating smile. Yu. When he went upstairs, he looked at the door on the fourth floor. There was no sound from up and down. It was obviously the environment he was looking forward to, but he was a little lonely inexplicably. Going back frustrated, Yu lay down on the bed and turned out his mobile phone. Seeing the column of the remarks 205 downstairs, there was no movement, and he stared fiercely. Hey, where did you die? Our Shoo Shoo arrived in Lhasa that night, stayed in the hotel here for one night, and early the next morning, he carried his bag and went out for shopping. Unlike other tourists carrying a camera on their backs or taking pictures around with their mobile phones, Shoo Shoo likes to travel quietly, see the scenery, and taste delicious food. It is not hot in September in Lhasa, but the light is very strong, and there is pain in the lighted place. I went to the Potala Palace on the first day. There were already a lot of people in the warm-up period before 11. Shoo Shoo walked slowly in the crowd, and there was no use to let go of a corner. Along the way, I read a lot of Princess Wencheng's eulogy. Shoo Shoo closed her eyes, as if she could still see this princess here with her entourage, walking hurriedly many years ago. People say that her life was great, and they praised their evocative love. This girl died and lived forever. Who knows how much she suffered? Anyway, Comfort does not believe that Tubo, who has been grudges against Datang for a long time, can bring much happiness to this princess. One of her clan daughters turned into a princess, and then the 16-year-old girl walked slowly from the wealthy Chang'an to this snow-covered plateau and left her hometown. Shu Shu could think of her bewildered panic. Not to mention there is a Nepalese princess Chaizun, who knows who is the wife. The dignified lady of the Tang dynasty, under the protection of her parents, should scold her horses and whip her horses, and find a right mate and raise her eyebrows. Except for the legend of Lu Fang's future generations, she had nothing left in her life. The shackles of history require a woman to bear it. The merit and fame after death, and the personal feelings of being alive, to Shu express this kind of person, it must be to live a chic and happy life. When he died, he kicked his leg, and what happened to him? Of course, this is all digression. After a day of strolling in the Potala Palace, Shu Shu dragged his tired legs back to the hotel. I rushed to wash and fell asleep. I didn't even look at the phone. I didn't know that someone was staring at the WeChat interface on the other end of the phone. The next day I went to the Jokhang temple again. The Buddhist culture is strong and the incense is lingering. Some pilgrims respectfully kowtow to their heads and are extremely religious. I wonder if the Buddha ever heard the prayers of these devout pilgrims, and would he fulfill his wish for them? Shu Shu didn't stay much, entered the temple, paid a little bit of admiration, and worshipped the 12th class statue of Sakyamuni, seeking stability in this life, and then returned to the hotel. When I stayed at home, I wanted to travel, and when I came out, I wanted to go back. I thought it was better to stay at home. Shu Shu bought the plane ticket that night and flew back overnight. At about 6 in the morning, Yu heard the sound of a suitcase dragging the ground, suddenly jumped up from his sleep and ran out, just in time to see Shu Shu, who had just arrived on the 4th floor. Seeing him coming down, Shu Shu saw a lot of strange faces outside in the past 2 days, and then suddenly looked at him, inexplicably kind, and smiled at him slightly. Yu couldn't tell how he felt at this moment. It was like an ice world, suddenly drinking a cup of hot milk tea, like eating a bite of ice cream in midsummer. Where are you going? He concealed his embarrassment, his throat was thick and dry. Shu Shu raised an eyebrow. It's up to you. You woman is too unpleasant to speak. Why should I please you? He glanced at him, carrying the suitcase, and pulling out the key to open the door. Suddenly paused, turned around and looked at him. Why are you getting up so early? Care about me? Yu jumped and said, Bah! Who cares? I got up for breakfast. Shu Shu gave a fascinating smile. Oh, have breakfast. Then he raised an eyebrow at his clothes, opened the door, and went in. Yu bowed his head. Hemp. Embarrassment, pajamas. I went into sleep. Thank you for your concern. I'm still alive. Goodbye. The door closed. Yu was taken aback for a moment, and after a few seconds, Bah, bat. Who cares about you? Are you so narcissistic? Shu Shu slept until the afternoon, got up to wash, and prepared the code word. He went out to play 2 days ago. Fortunately, the manuscript was saved in advance. Until the end of 7 o'clock in the evening, ready to go out for a meal, as soon as the door opened, the guy upstairs was also walking down. Yo, meet again. Yu snorted, ignored her, and continued downstairs. Shu Shu was dumbfounded. Why was this guy mad? When she reached the 1st floor, Yu stopped and looked at her. Why are you going? Have a meal. That, together. It's a matter of course, Shu Shu, why should I have dinner with you? Not far from the restaurant, I went out at the back door of the community, and walked 300 to 500 meters to arrive. If the two of them came out on weekdays, they would basically eat here, but because Yu often went out, Shu liked to change his taste, and had never eaten here together. The two sat across from each other. Yu took the menu and was about to order. With a sudden smile, he handed the menu to Shu, grinning, and he was making some ideas as soon as he saw it. "I want a vegetable salad, just a cucumber." Yu said that he was going to return the menu to the waiter, the boss with eyes wide open. "No way, no way. Are you a monk? Don't eat meat." Shu looked at him indifferently. "Order what you want to eat yourself, it's best to move to the next door, there are a lot of empty tables." Yu gave a dry cough, took the menu, and ordered 2 more meats. After the waiter left, Shu sneered. "Let's talk about it, pay attention to what is bad." Yu put his hand to his mouth and laughed embarrassedly. "Well, upstairs and downstairs, helping each other, I'm a bit financially struggling recently." Shu. The National Day is coming soon, and Shu mentioned it during dinner. Puff. Yu wiped the corners of his mouth. "What are you talking about? Fake boyfriend?" Shu nodded, holding chopsticks in one hand, poking twice in the bowl, and said helplessly, "But now your identity as an extra actor is on the hot search, where can I go to find someone?" Suddenly Shu's eyes lit up. "About how old is the painter on the 3rd floor?" Yu sneered, "That's 30 or 40, right? And just the height, 1 meter 8. Shu sighed, "Is it too late to say that I have something to do now? What can you do as an unemployed vagrant? If you don't understand your women, it's just a comparison, you don't know how to talk nonsense. I'm just being crushed to death by cowhide, and I can't let that woman climb on top of me. Besides, I don't have a rich husband, but I have money." "Fine, you are right." Yu thought for a while, don't know why, thinking that she would take her arm to attend the class reunion, wanting to laugh inexplicably, so she said, "You take me there, and if you recognize it, say I experience life." Shu was expressionless. Can there be such a stupid? Do you think they believe it? Yu. Stupid? Damn it. Go by yourself. I'm not waiting. Can you pretend to be a grandfather? Yu lied his hair with his hand and said, "The true color starred." "That's okay, then you just need to behave well, it will cost me." Yu patted his chest, "Don't worry. No problem. The master is the grandfather. A money master who has no money for the time being." In the evening, as usual, the poisonous chicken soup was updated and distributed. The poisonous chicken soup Weibo has been very lively. Some netizens even started the poisonous chicken soup themselves. Poisonous chicken soup: when you encounter a shock, take out the mirror, look at the person inside, and tell yourself, what kind of grief can be compared to growing like this? Picture: I am beautiful, and everything I say is right. If the mountain is not me, I am the mountain. 666 is poisonous. You are enough. I love the big poison. Does the big poison always behave like this? Smirked Chen Shi years old times. Ha ha ha, the big drug has finally appeared. JJU, the poison is big, you have been missing for several days. Shu returned to the 2nd floor. Poisonous? No, when I see the mirror, I always say that God has given such a good face, and it's okay to suffer a bit. Smile. After watching their ridicule with a smile, another comment attracted attention. This is a long comment, whose youth is not sad. Great, I'm broken in love. It's not someone who cheated, it was a peaceful breakup. We both liked each other in high school and we met for graduation. After graduation, I took his hand and felt so happy. I still can clearly remember the excitement at that time. But because of the score, we have a long-distance relationship. From the beginning of the phone call every day, thinking about crying, the two schools are a bit far away, I still remember that he saved a month's money to buy a hard seat, and sat all day and night to see me. When I left, I cried in my arms again at the station. Such a big man of 1.8 meters, crying like a fool. The first year was spent in such thoughts, and the second year was busy. There were fewer opportunities to meet and fewer phone calls. This year's junior year, and our long-distance relationship has been gone for 3 years, suddenly we discovered that we have gone from 3 phone calls a day to 1 phone call a month, and our relationship seems to be so weak. I broke up with him, and it took him a day to get back to a good, poisonous, and obviously loving 2 people. Why did they become like this? Shu Shu is still reading carefully, and the building has already been set up below. Lia Sha, I am also in a long-distance relationship, and I have also divided, and I can't tell what's going on either. Chen Suiyu in the old days, after my first love and I parted, basically the men I met didn't feel that way, it was impure. The promise is not fulfilled, add 1 upstairs, after going out of society, the men you meet will either sum up the benefits, or simply want to use prostitution/indifferent I love drugs, hey? It's horrible, my first love and I have just gone to college, in the same city. I have heard from the seniors and senior sisters that the twilight love in the senior year is just looking for a legitimate reason to open a house. Is that important? Forgive the color, every old fritters man has slowly become like that from his innocent first love. Alas, think about it, my first love at the time has gradually become an old fritters. I want to live it alone. Shu Shu felt a pain, and Cheng Dunyi was the same back then, even if he lived in a room, he was laying on the floor. In just a few years, he slept with other women. I went back to the freshman first, drug, who knows? You can always meet a good one. You should cherish your first love. Then I returned to the girl, poisonous, maybe you really need to try separately. Give each other more than a year to see each other after graduation. Maybe that unforgettable love has become a long stream of gentleness. Don't deliberately look forward to it, let it go, meet it's a coincidence that it's a coincidence, and it's fate to be able to be together. I really missed it. It's just a beautiful memory of youth. Look a little away. The screen was also fierce, and the discussion was full of enthusiasm, and Shu Shu suddenly realized that they actually used her as an emotional counselor. Poisonous chicken soup, I am still suitable for spraying people with poison. For emotional problems like this, I may not know much/waves before you. Old time and old days, ha ha ha, I can feel the helplessness of poison through the screen. MGDP, I laughed, the poison is going crazy once upon a time, super curious to fall in love with a drug, squirting/smirking at home every day there is no ending, ha ha ha. The poison is great, but the poison is actually quite reasonable. Dream Millennium, add 1 upstairs, you can see through the big poison. Puff Luan, as a daily peeping party, was laughed off by the drug's words. The fans of the big poison are not only female fans, but also a lot of male fans, but in the end, female fans are more powerful. Today they are spraying men, and all the male fans shrank silently. I dare not speak now. This incident happened once. At that time, there were not so many big drug fans. A female fan said that he discovered that the boy who had been ambiguous with her had a girlfriend and used her as a spare. Duda sprayed all the female fans wildly, and a male fan came up, accusing women of looking for spare tires and accusing them of attacking the boy looking for spare tires. Later, the male fan deleted the account. The process no longer needs to be described. Anyway, when there are female fans collectively spraying men, no one dares to speak out, silently peek at the screen, and occasionally increase their knowledge, knowing how women like and hate. Of course, the drug giant will still control the degree, and reasonable complaints will follow along with the poisonous conference. If it is unreasonable, she will unceremoniously point it out. To be honest, although the poison is very direct, in fact, this person looks carefully, the 3 views are still right. Luan was really amused by the words of Du Day, and this group of women didn't want to think about Du Da's character. Can he be a confidant sister? How you want to abuse the scum, she must have a lot of ideas, how to fight back one by one, but he used to be timid and excited to see him. Silently gave the exaggerated compliment. Shu Shu scratched his head, so I am so good? Leaning on the sofa, I thought of Cheng Duanyi again. Even if he had something wrong with him, the good things he had done to her in the past few years could not be ignored. When she was studying, Cheng Duanyi was possessive, and she was the only one in her eyes, not a man he knew well. The relationship between the girls is not bad, and they can greet each other and help a little, but they can't say anything to their heart. Middle school and high school classmates, time has passed, and some distance. Shu Shu wants a quiet environment is actually deceiving herself. Because wherever she is, the excitement is someone else's, she has nothing. He fell on the bed in a low mood, closed his eyes and couldn't sleep, tossing over and over. The ghost sent a message to 250 upstairs. 205 downstairs, hey, have you ever fallen in love? You didn't sleep either. He stared at the news and replied. 205 upstairs, of course I talked about it, 17 or 8. 205 downstairs. 205 upstairs, why are you asking this? 205 downstairs, I thought you must have never been in a relationship. 205 upstairs, I wipe it. How I am, I cannot fall in love, I tell you, there are too many people who like me, and I have to go around the forbidden city. 205 downstairs, oh, indifference. 205 upstairs, hey, let me tell you, The two opened a chat record of boasting and shocking, until Shu Shu sleepy fell asleep. She was still thinking before going to bed, no wonder people are social animals. Soon the day before the National Day, Shu Shu went up to shoot Yu Yu's door. What are you doing? It's early morning. Quickly pack up, let's go buy clothes. Yu Yu rubbed his hair, fine, you come in first. I'll clean up. This is the first time Shu Shu has entered the 205 rooms upstairs. The layout is no different from hers, but the rooms that men and women live in are still different. Yu Yu still likes to be clean. Although things are a bit messy, overall, they are still very clean. He looked at it again, hey! Hurry up, okay. What's the hurry? Yu Yu reflexively retorted. Shu Shu's face darkened, okay, I have no problem if you want to go there when there are many people at noon, anyway, I am not a star. Yu Yu was taken aback, yes, he is now in 18line star with more than 10,000 Weibo fans. Yu Yu tidied up and put on a mask for herself. Shu Shu, do you really think of yourself as a star? Would you like to wear sunglasses? Inexplicably ashamed. Forget it, don't wear it. Let's go. Shu Shu followed silently, this man. This is the largest business district around, and there are many high-end shops in it, just suitable for. Wow! I haven't been to these places for a long time. Yu Yu expressed enjoyment and made an intoxicated face. Fool! Shu Shu gave him only these two words, and then walked forward. Hey, I'll tell you, you don't understand the living conditions of our poor people. Following her, I told you. Shu Shu entered a store, took a look, then turned to Yu Yu. Dead fish, see for yourself. Broken book, what is a dead fish? I'm so alive and well. Shu Shu cast a white glance, hurry up, don't waste time. Fine. Yu Yu picked one, entered the fitting room, and Shu Shu sat bored. Please use tea. The shopping guide poured her a cup of tea, and Shu Shu smiled back. Thanks. You are welcome. After the shopping guide was gone, Yu Yu came out. Dang 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 comes with its own voice. Flicked his hair, isn't he handsome? Isn't he handsome? Are you fascinated? Shu Shu looked at him with a straight face. What's wrong? It doesn't look good. Yu Yu pulled back his action and pulled at his clothes. It shouldn't be, I took so long to look in the mirror before he came out. I looked at all angles. Shu Shu stared at him. Can you dress more normally? What does it mean to put on a dress and show a breast? What's wrong? Isn't this pretty? Change for another. Oh. Forget it, it's the uncle who paid. Changed another set and walked out. This time is handsome. Shu Shu. A hooligan wears everything as a hooligan. Hey hey hey, what do you mean? Shu Shu looked at him, dressed in a hip-hop style, squirming in his movements, like a scumbag. I looked around the store and said, change shop. Then he smiled politely at the shopping guide, and took him straight to the dress shop. I picked a blue suit and handed it to him. Try this. Yu looked at it exaggeratedly. I'm going. Formal dress? Will the classmates use it? Shu Shu glared at him, and Yu accepted it honestly. After Yu entered, she was a little silent, asking him to wear formal clothes to be more aggressive. Because Cheng Duanyi's aura is too strong. Shu Shu didn't want to be a bit weak, especially afraid that his ex-boyfriend would pose to the existing boyfriend. Now you find such a personal appearance. I laughed at myself, what a poisonous thing, and a serious dismissal. After all, he is still a normal person, and he can't see it openly. After a while, the door of the fitting room was pushed open, and Yu showed a head. Do you really want to dress like this? The voice was slightly aggrieved. You come out, let me see. Yu shook his head and squeezed. Come out. Shu Shu glared at him, and Yu walked out aggrieved, reluctantly. The suit is very slim, revealing Yu's slender figure, and he doesn't look thin. I don't know how this guy did it. He obviously has a small white face, but he has a handsome figure. Shu Shu had to admit that he was really good looking. What kind of clothes does this guy wear, what kind of style does he have, and a natural hanger? Pretty good. Yu looked in the mirror again. He was a little uncomfortable. He was used to wearing the kind of loose clothes that he could jump and stretch at will, but this one was tight and awkward. That's it. Yu's expression was dissatisfied, and Shu Shu said when she saw this, you only have this to wear and look like a man. Do you still want to wear those shemales? Yu shook her head angrily, glared at her, and then asked, so pretty. Shu Shu definitely nodded. Let's listen to you. And many more, what happened? I always feel like something else. Knocked his chin and looked at him seriously. Yu looked at her suspiciously, only to see Shu Shu's eyes lit up. He took a tie, threw it at his neck, slapped him on the arm, head down. Yu obediently lowered his head and looked at her blankly. This is, to tie me? My heart throbbed inexplicably and thumped. Shu Shu was about to tie him, but he was taken aback. Why should I tie him? Then he slapped the tie on him, come by yourself. What are you doing in a daze? Can't you wait for me to hit you? Kaka. Yu heard it. This was the voice of a broken heart. This woman is really annoying. I won't. Yu looked at her, this time you have to get started by yourself. Shu Shu looked at him and suddenly shouted, can you tie him a tie? Okay. Then a shopping guide lady came over happily. Yu. It really looks better, Shu Shu nodded, this guy dresses up well, it's still quite okay. Yu looked in the mirror again, the better she looked, took out her mobile phone, and handed it to Shu Shu. Help me take a few pictures. Shu Shu took it, and took a lot of pictures in a row, and Yu took various poses. Shu Shu. Then he picked a few good ones, posted on Weibo, and put away the phone. Done yet? All right. Shu Shu gave a white glance, shopping more slowly than her. Go to the cash register, check out. The young lady was stunned for a moment, then smiled and settled her bill, and then left the shop as everyone watched. Wow! That little brother is so handsome. His girlfriend is so beautiful too, it feels like a warm man. His girlfriend settled the bill, eat soft rice. No way, his girlfriend is so young and beautiful, isn't his girlfriend in charge of the money? It's possible, wow, so happy. Don't you think this person is a bit familiar? The two came out, Shu Shu stood still, and looked at him. What do you think of me? I'm thinking, what else is missing? What's missing? Yu Yu was still a little stunned. Watch. Shu Shu suddenly said, what kind of horse should be equipped with what kind of saddle? Watch? Would you buy me a watch? Shu Shu gave him a white look, what beautiful thing do you want? It's too expensive, I wonder if I can rent one for you. Yu Yu. Elder sister, all right, don't toss about it. I will figure out how to watch the watch myself. How could my dignified master use an old one? Do you have a way? Shu Shu looked at him suspiciously. I have friends with local tyrants too. Seeing her distrustful face, he patted her chest and promised. Then I have to rent a car too. I can do it too. Shu Shu squinted at him, what thigh did you hold? Damn it! Can you think of me better? Seeing that there was nothing to buy, Shu Shu wanted to go back. Yu Yu squeezed, still said, hey, that book, there is a good movie, do you want to see it? Please let me watch a movie. Shu Shu narrowed his eyes, and Yu Yu wanted to hit someone when he saw her expression. Yes. Please. He gritted his teeth. Don't go. Shu Shu opened the door and got into the driver's seat. Yu Yu opened the co-pilot and closed the door with a bang. Shu Shu turned his head to look at him calmly and said, do you know what you look like now? Yu Yu looked up at her, still looking upset. Much like the kindergarten kids in the children's show I watched last night, because their mothers didn't fulfill their wishes and were angry. Yu Yu was furious and replied, fuck. Good son, call mother. At 249, are you sure you can really borrow it tomorrow? Yu Yu shook her arrogant eyes, ignored her and went upstairs. Shu Shu. Are you sure you can really marry like this? Yu Yu, who was upstairs, took out his mobile phone and made a call, which was quickly connected. Mom, hey, I'm fine. Look at me. Don't, please don't. I'm really fine. I want to tell you something. Can you secretly give me the watch my grandpa gave me before? By the way, there is also my new car that I haven't driven before. Oh, not that one, cousin. Fine, then I don't care what he wants, of course I can do what I promised. I only borrow these things for one day, and I will return them the day after tomorrow. I know, I'm fine, you also pay attention to your body. That's it, I'll hang up first, don't be discovered by my dad, that's shameful. After hanging up the phone, Yu Yu lay down on the balcony and stared down. You see how much I sacrificed for you like this 205. I'm such a good neighbor. Yu Yu went to Weibo to see if the poisonous chicken soup was updated, but was taken aback by his Weibo. Heart mole, wow, my little brother is so handsome. Back and forth, ah. Big fish I love you dole, did I only notice the girl in the third mirror? Luck cat master, fuck. The one who took the picture. Because of love, will it be a shopping guide? I won't love you again, upstairs stupid, this shop has a unified shopping guide, not like this. Yu Yu saw that they soon said they were girlfriends, his eyes widened, these people are too imaginative, right? How could he fall in love with the 205 downstairs? That man, hey, don't give it away for nothing. While saying this in his heart, somehow Yu Yu touched his face. Shu Shu fell on the sofa, so she hated going out, and felt really uncomfortable all over her body. If she was in the sun for a while, her head would burst. Logged into the Weibo of Xiaoshu. Recently, this Weibo was very quiet, so she posted an update reminder and didn't say anything else. Most of the netizens left comments about the role or caring about her body. Open the poison chicken soup. The hot comment below the latest news turned out to be, kid. Too bad, give me a tall, handsome, and rich boyfriend who treats me well. I don't want to be single anymore. Shu Shu replied to her immediately, big poison, the old poison is also missing one. As for being tall, handsome, rich, and good to you, the old poison can only say, let's see you on double 11/watch quietly. Thinking of tomorrow, I updated another Weibo, poisonous chicken soup, old poison, Xiang. Come back and report to you how to abuse the scum/fist. Then I turned off the computer and went out with my bag. Until the evening when she returned, Shu Shu had already done her nails and repaired her hair well. Lie in bed early and get a good night's sleep. Tomorrow is really a day worth looking forward to. I'll go. Looking at Shu Shu stupidly, she was wearing a long dress with a makeup, attractive red lips, and big charming eyes flickering. The habitually squinted eyes give people a coquettish feeling. Ahem, why are you dressed like this? Yu naturally couldn't admit that she was stupid. Today, he paused, his chin lifted slightly, with an expression of undue beating. Be a coquettish bitch. Yu. As the original partner of a beneficiary, shouldn't it be pitiful? Poor shit, let me be bullied again. I'd rather brag and take a man to find a place than be bragged by Ziosin. By the way, your car and watch. Shu Shu looked at him, this kind of thing is actually not necessary, just pretending to be a complete set. Yu learned from her just now, raising her chin, and drew out a watch from her pocket. Okay, Shu Shu didn't understand it, but she knew it was not a bargain. Go, take you to see the car. Shu Shu followed him, this guy can actually borrow this luxury? Ferrari limited edition. Yu shook the key, how about? Don't you be ashamed. Shu Shu stretched out his hand and compared it with a thumb. It's not so easy to rent. What thigh did you hold? His eyes narrowed, with a skeptical expression. Yu laughed twice, my cousin borrowed it. I asked him to borrow it. I don't know who borrowed it. Be careful, let's not break it. Seeing his cautious manner, Shu Shu exhaled, letting go of the guard and doubt in his heart. When I got in the car and went to the destination, Yu found that she was exceptionally silent, perhaps she hadn't noticed it herself, her brows were frowned deeply, and her face was full of anxiety. It seemed that she suddenly understood why she was buying clothes, borrowing things, and tidying herself up. It's like laughing desperately when someone is in pain, as if this way you can't feel the pain. She flared her teeth and danced her claws, showing how she wanted to find her place. In fact, she was just scared. This girl was obviously like a man-in-law, but she was sensitive and fragile. What story does she have? Yu coughed, that book, can I just play freely today? Shu Shu nodded, yes, crush the scum men and wicked women fiercely, let them know that the sky is high and the earth is thick. Okay. No problem, it's enough to have you, and what about brother? Let's join forces with Shuangsha to find the place. Who has bothered you? My old lady is well behaved and sensible, kind and gentle. Cut, you took the old lady before you said this, you can still have a little credibility. Man, stop struggling. Bah. Shemale, what right do you have to laugh at me? Hey, I will help you today, please clean someone's mouth, be careful I turn around. You are not loud zuz, you don't ridicule me, why should I ridicule you? Then he said, oh, man. You. Let you stop talking. Be polite, you are a boy, so carefree, will you really want to be a woman in the future? When you heard it, he turned the car around. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, you. I won't say anything. Good, I apologize. Brother you. I was wrong. Right, you can correct it if you know it is wrong. Yu Yu turned the car back again. Shoo shoo. When he arrived at the hotel, Shoo Shoo sat in the car and let out a deep breath. What are you afraid of? Go for a walk, delicious and delicious. Then he stretched out his hand and looked at her. Shoo Shoo smiled lightly, put his hand on his, and moved slowly, burgundy high heels with burgundy nails, stretched out of the car and stepped on the ground. The author has something to say, while saying this in my heart, somehow Yu Yu touched his face. Yu Yu, the face hurts a bit, it seems that who hit it? Author June, you yourself, fuck, we all heard it.